How's it going, family? Welcome to another episode of 12 Initiates. Brothers and sisters, welcome, welcome, welcome. Today I was moved to talk on this episode about magic and words and how words and magic all correlates with one another. How they are in a very, very intimate relationship with one another. You see, we use words every day. Sometimes we may curse ourselves, and sometimes we may uplift and exalt ourselves. It depends on our knowledge and our wisdom of the words we're using. I've seen different woke YouTubers speak their own demise, and their own demise, whether it was health problems, whether it was being incarcerated, whether it was being sent into a sunken place due to somebody who knew the esoteric knowledge and more accuracy than that YouTuber. I've seen words take people into demonic phases where they're sacrificing their brethren just to be in higher places. And I'm a different YouTuber. I'm Thrice, this 12 Initiates. We here to talk about the secrets within the secrets, the real secrets that's going to liberate our people. And I want to speak on some broad things, drop a couple large jewels like a clumsy burglar. So if you vibing, please subscribe. If you vibe, subscribe, hit the share button and notification button so others can receive this, especially those who are walking down the halls of initiation and willing and open and optimistic enough to open their birthday gifts early. Words and magic. Let's go back in time a little bit. Were our ancestors using so many words when they spoke? The Indians, the tribes of the Nile, the ancestors of the Nile, even the individuals who created Latin, the people who speak Hebrew. And I love Hebrew myself. I use that to communicate. Not just, but communicate with the primordial. Communicate back with mother. Communicate with my right hemisphere. And bring forth to this third dimensional plane. They weren't using, you see, these people that was back in time, they weren't using so many words that we use today. Like I say, English, when you turn it around, because we live in an introverted realm or matrix, it says glitchin. That's why when somebody says something, they got to say, you feel me? When you text somebody, you can't convey what it is you feel through the text message words, because the words doesn't have a spiritual influence, a spiritual essence in it. But it does have, it's been very intelligently made for it to just trap you. And if you know better and you reach for that light, or you are now spilling light from your soul, from your human vessel, then you can become liberated. Your soul can become sovereign, because you are in a different, there's a clear difference that you aren't just a citizen. That is when the Most High is in your lot, and your lot is of the Most High. Our ancestors wasn't using these languages. They were using hymns. They were using tongue. They were using their throat chakra in a more intelligent way, a more transcendent way than the words we're using now. Time passed, and that doesn't mean that we know more because time passed. I am a big knower that a great majority, now you still have men of letters here, you still have poets here, you still have writers here, you still have philosophers here, philosophers there. But I'm here on this Thursday, this Jupiter's Day, this Thursday, to express some divine wisdom and let you know that when time went by, we became dumber. The great majority became dumber. People are enslaving themselves and don't know how to get out of these prisons or these prisms that they've been trapped into. You ever heard the saying, a picture is worth 1,000 words? A picture is worth 1,000 words. You can look at a photo and see demonic entities in it. Or you can take a photo and you could see the Most High or feel that Most High energy in that photo. You could take that photo and put it into motion. And now you have a motion picture. Now you created a whole nother world with just words. It's very powerful. Very, very powerful. And to clean the collective consciousness that our people is suffering from, you see, we're suffering from our own lack of knowledge. If we keep pointing our fingers outward and not pointing inward and realizing that the revolution starts on the inside, then we'll forever be putting the carriage in front of the horse. You see, a little birdie told me that horse means wisdom. That's why the zodiac of the Sagittarius has a horse body depicted on it. Because once the sun died, it rose from the waters with the wisdom of Sagittarius to sit on top of the mountain of Capricorn. And then it was able to spread that information like the Aquarius air and dive into the mysteries and the dark waters of the Piscean water. Once we went to a place of knowing elements, or aka elementary school, they changed our circles into square. They took our spirit and made it very logical to where you have a majority of people languishing in logic and is denying anything spiritual. AKA, if I can't touch it, if I can't smell it, if I can't see it, if I can't hear it, if I can't any of those senses, if I can't any of those senses, they don't want to deal with it. I'm here, Thrice is here today to tell you that there is a natural faculty that is hidden that transcends logic and science. If this individual is so logical, then how come they believe that a tower can send something to a phone without it being connected with the physical cord? If we're so logical, how come we believe that a satellite works to receive a signal, but it don't have a cord, a physical cord that you could touch, see, smell, taste, or any of that connected to the other point? So our logic, what we've learned from this glitch in language or English, is at a huge fault. We are computers ourselves, supercomputers that are connected to the universal intelligence before we even start talking about technology. That's some very super mundane stuff to talk about. It's the truth. It's the truest of truths. It's the secrets within secrets. It's the veil stripped off. We unveiling information. We are connected to the higher source. And there's an angel that facilitates that, or is the custodian of that power, that is the umbilical cord to our higher nature. You see, when we get into the knowingness of using our words more fluidly, we will find out how unattractive using English actually is. You're not going to be able to resonate with people anymore. You won't resonate with somebody coming to you saying, I love you to death. You'd be like, you love me to death. Why can't you love me to life? I honestly guarantee it. Go to your family members while they sitting there watching some soap operas, some cooking channel, football, tennis, golf, and go up to them and say, I just want y'all to know something. I love y'all to life. Something in their program mind is going to glitch so hard because we were programmed to die. We weren't programmed to live. So the revolution, you'll see an invisible revolution taking place in that room. Is worse than what they say, address the elephant in the room. Nah, address the spirit in the room. Elephants are a characteristic of wisdom as well, knowledge, spirit. Just to drop that drawer, that's a sidebar. And only the ones with wisdom and knowledge can address it. It's funny how that works. Some more examples of how words condemn us. We use words in the English language that bounded us to the maritime laws, not knowing that by divine right of the Most High and Yah or Allah, that we are individuals of the land. We are people of the land. Only thing that was moving in maritime a long time ago was companies going from one place to another, and I believe they were called it was a trading, I can't remember the word right now, but it was a trading company. Corporations can only use maritime law because they needed a law of the sea. You can't just go around. There needed to be a structure on sea trades, especially when they were setting out to explore other places and colonize other places. Well, when they colonized the United States of America with their English ways, you see it's unique with their English ways, and turned the United States of America to the USA. I grew up learning about the United States of America, and it was a capital T, then it was a capital U, and it was a capital S, then it said of, lowercase, and then it was a capital A for America. Nowadays, the next generation don't even know that. You ask them where they live, they say the USA. I live in the USA. They live in a fictitious world that was blanketed by maritime law. It's a world that seems so real. But when you get locked up or you get them handcuffs on you by the cops, your words no longer work. Oh, I'm going to put it all out there. Your words no longer work. When you step into that court and you use the words that the institutions taught you, they no longer work. Why is that? How come when I'm in jail, I can't get out based on using my words? Even if I'm truly innocent. Did I lock myself up based on the words I was using? Did I sign up to a doctrine that goes against who I am naturally and bound me under the umbrella of the corporation just by using words, just by the negligence of wisdom, neglecting wisdom? Because I want you all to know, everybody watching this, if you're in the Matrix, then you're in the Matrix, and that Matrix is held up together by Old English, by magic in the Old English. You see, this is still a very magical world. The only thing is that the witches look like the celebrities. They got the mansions. They got all the followers. They got the nice music. The warlocks got the nice rapping. They're the ones that haven't been sacrificed, that are still here now. Your Fat Joes, Snoop Dogg's, your Ice Cubes, your keep going. They're the warlocks. They're the ones that are still here because they gain wisdom to the point that the elites can't touch them, change their life around a little bit, knew the importance of words. I mean, shoot, even Snoop Dogg in one video said that he was talking about going to court on trial in a rap song, and in real life, he was actually going through that. It's very disguised now. You still got necromancers, conjurers, witches, warlocks, sorcerers, shining ones, witches. I mean, you name it. They're still out here. It's just a different world. Now it's the DreamWorks. Now that's the one thing that's still in common with all these Disney movies. The one thing that has a commonality between all of it is magic. They use that word over and over and over and over, and it hasn't died since then. Why? Because it's real. It sticks. It transcends maritime law. It transcends the language that we use that we think can free us. The only thing this English language is used for is to continue moving product for the banks, for the corporations, for the owners of the corporations, and the owners for the banks. I'll drop a drill for you. What is a bank? Now we're going into the study of words. What is a bank? And this is the elemental version of it, just the surface level topics. What is a bank? A bank is land that sits on the side of a river or water. It's a river bank. What does this riverbank do? It controls the flow of currency. This currency wouldn't exist without us because they needed a actual three-dimensional figure to subscribe. You see, subscribe to their magic. And because of that, we've been in prison, or we've been trapped in a very magical prison called the Matrix. Outside of that, you deal with other complex topics, and it goes into a very complex, different form of vibration, words and shapes and colors and numbers. But for the more simpler fact of this video today, I want to explain the use of words and how to be careful of it. If you're an upcoming YouTube star, if you're an upcoming musical star, if you're an upcoming poet, because writing down information that brings a negative influence is a distortion. It is not anything positive. It's a negative. It's a distortion. It's not a quality. It's a distortion. And that's the duality of it. So we got to figure out how we're going to free ourselves. If our parents couldn't teach us this, if our parents' didn't know this, it was all good just a week ago. Won't nobody worried about this invisible slavery that's put on us, because they brought English into our life to seem so happy, to seem so good, to seem so real. And as soon as we, like a fly to a light, got real close to that light, they hit the zap on us. We have to break away from that. We got to take the snake tail out his mouth so it can breathe fire. That goes deep into another topic we're going to talk about eventually. Before I keep going on further, once again, like or subscribe and or both, and share this so we can get this knowledge out there to the brethren and the sisters, the future kings and the future queens. They can know how to erect their temple. And it all starts off with words. You see, because magic is us. We are magic. When I go to history and look at the involvement of the ancestors, they were using a mind that was in connection to the life force. They weren't trying to figure out what the life force is. They were the life force. Eventually, The wisdom was taken away from us. There was something erected called the Tower of Babel, and then it was destroyed, and the effect of that was, or the discipline from that, was our minds being separated into two. And we no longer knew how to communicate with life force. We didn't know how to empathize anymore. We didn't know how to connect one and one together, or they say connect two and two. It's a reason why they say these things. And we started fighting with other nations. We started fighting with other countries because we couldn't communicate anymore. But how come we fighting with other countries? But when I look back, and I go back and I see these ancestral temples, they have humans of all colors together learning the same one knowledge of spirit. But nowadays there are countries who are fighting over, oh, my God is better than your God is better than my God, my religion better than your religion. Another topic, not gonna get too far into that. It just goes to show that there's a facade taking place. You see, they call Babylon because the only thing people are doing is just babbling on. Babble. They're not versed in the language of what they're using, but trust and believe the elite that are controlling things are using a different form of language to govern or be the government. There's a whole president over there in that matrix that can babble and be the president. Come on now, Thrice. Talk about it. There's a whole president who was babbling to everybody. And everybody's looking at that TV like this. Trying to make some sense of it. Yeah, I understand it. You understand. You standing under all that babbling. So you will become a victim to whatever it is this person's will and intention is, because they know when do what thou wilt. That's what they believe in. They don't believe in understanding to another entity if we were made in the image of the Most High. Words are important. You got to understand that. And once you understand it and take away the face of it, you'll be able to see what you're dealing with in its truest essence. And then, and only then, be able to overstand it. We've been hoodwinked. I got my people back in the Matrix saying, I'm so hood. I'm so hood. And then I went back in etymology. I went back and seen what hood mean. And hood actually means fake. You got people saying, Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. And then I go back into Old English and go back to the Black Law Dictionary, 3rd and 4th edition. And I see that the word black is termed dead. So when I hear Black Lives Matter, I hear the same thing these elites are hearing. Dead lives matter. Dead lives matter. And then you wonder why zombie movies exist. Because we're living around a bunch of illiterate individuals. Michael Jackson told a bunch of people, you a vegetable. You a vegetable. Just walking like a zombie. This is going to hit a lot of people, and this is going to gut punch a lot of people in a lot of sensitive areas. But allow me to be that earthquake to your fairy tale. You see, wisdom shines very, very, very bright. It's like the sun, and not many can stand looking at it. The truth is not hidden from anybody. It will only reveal itself to those that are worthy. I'm going to say that one more time. The truth for all my melanated individuals is not hidden from anybody. It is only waiting and longing to be revealed by those who are worthy. Being that this is a war, a spiritual war that is taking place, and I know in a galactic form that this is going to be a war that we're going to be a part of, we must set a revolution on the inside of us. all the way to the core, all the way to the DNA. You see? Hence why they, around this time, they're trying to get to our DNA. Just put it together. Put it together. It's a war going on. We must be a part of it. But how can we fight this war? How can we become applicable, applying ourselves to this war to be effective, to create, be strong enough to create a cause, to be like a raindrop and have a trickle effect? I mean, some people, raindrop ain't even hitting the water, let alone creating trickles. So it's of a dire importance for us to understand that which we languish in, that which we perceive to be real. Change it all up. Turn your head to a 45-degree angle. Squint your eyes a little bit and question everything. Because the magic realm still exists. It just looks different. And then there's another world beside it called the artificial intelligent world. And they're not going to stop creating that. So as long as there's people subscribing to that, subscribe to the Most High. Leave that alone. Connect your... First, know you have an ethereal umbilical cord and connect that to the Most High. Use that energy to start figuring out the universal intelligence, the UI, not the AI. Unsubscribe from the AI. Subscribe to the UI, nature. The birds, the animals, the plants, the flowers, the rocks, the crystals, the papyri, the scrolls, the ethereal books that you can only see in a high level of consciousness. There's so many books that was made in riddles from ancient astrologers, ancient mathematicians, ancient occultists. And occult just means hidden. It doesn't mean something dark and negative. Yes, you can enter the occult and do negative things, and you can enter the occult and do things of power. Try to de-occult this information and become a teacher worthy enough to teach, to empower, to elevate, to exalt the souls of the fires and the vertebrae of every individual. I'm tired of seeing my people and they serpent just sitting in their urn and they don't know nothing about their Saturn. It's the wordplay. It's the play of words that are going to free you, and it's the play of words that are going to imprison you. So pick up your sword and shield. Look at words. Take that S and put it on the other end and notice that that is your sword. It is a double-edged sword. It can liberate you or it can execute you. Look at our venerated, melanated individuals who are now chopping themselves at the leg because they forgot one of the most elementary things when it comes to magic is words. They are now imprisoned themselves or sick or falling downhill very quickly because though they had the right intentions, the first act in faculty was the vibrations they were kicking out their mouth. So be careful when you use words. And like I said, go to your family and tell them I love them to life. Go to the next person. You've always been saying I love you to death. We get used to saying I love people to death and then seeing them in bad situations and wonder why they're in the bad situations and then tell them on top of that, I still love you to death. Nah, change all of that up. If you're part of the 12 initiates, don't say that anymore. Subscribe to the universal intelligence and uplift the collective consciousness that's connecting all of us to help this revolutionary war on the inside of us so we can become applicable to the real war that is happening and going on now. Learn different languages. Empty your cup. Because the universe is ready to pour into your cup. Empty that cup. Forget about everything you learned up until this point. I love you all to life. Be on the lookout for the next video.